Hello, my name is Travis Bayless and I'm part of my bipolar blog. Today I'm going to create a new playlist called That's Mental. I'm going to focus on doing something more casual. Kyle's playing games. We're just going to talk about a subject that I found interesting. So it says from WebMD.com, twins are less likely to commit suicide. Strong bonds help twins find life worth living. Now the reason why I involve my brother is because he and I are really close. And because we're close, we have a tendency to influence each other's lives. What's interesting to note is that we're identical twins, but I'm bipolar and he just has anxiety and depression. Now, people could say or suggest that he also has bipolar, but the scenario is largely different because he's never had a reaction to medications. I had a reaction to Paxil, which is antidepressant. I became manic. And not only that, I've been largely more suicidal than he has ever been. Anyways, the study is kind of interesting because I feel that even though that we're identical twins, we can somehow be more likely to commit suicide if we exacerbate each other's symptoms, or we could less likely be more resilient to suicide because we're close to each other. According to the study, it says that research in Denmark compared medical records of more than 20,000 same-sex twins more over a 6-year period to analyze their cause of death years later. By then, 60% of the twins have died. Research had found the bond between twins is quite unique. While twins have the same death rate as other people, they are significantly less likely to commit suicide than the general population. Researchers discovered that identical and fraternal twins offered the same protection, as does male and female twins. The study appeared in the August issue of the British Medical Journal. Now, I somewhat find that fascinating because, like I said, I feel that, for the most part, my brother has kept me largely resilient to committing suicide.
In the family.
And the family has helped as well. I think what was also fun in this is people who had young children who stayed married and had kids, they're less likely to commit suicide. But I want to get Kyle's opinion on that because he's the one that deals with a lot of the crap that I do. And I'm just wondering if he feels that he is largely responsible for me not committing suicide. What do you think?
I agree. But they call it dependency issue, and I've been labeled with dependent issues.
So, unlike most twins, Kyle and I are very close, and
But you don't learn how to live on your own, though, too.
And we become pretty codependent on each other. We laugh and laugh, but then we get mad and we get sad and sad. It kind of influences each other. However, as noted, I'm bipolar, so the symptoms seem to be exasperated. But, anyways, let's get to the study. The strongest risk for suicide is mental illness, and the study shows that mental illness is slightly more common among twins. Just researchers thought that twins may be more likely to commit suicide, but instead they just found the opposite. Researchers say the results prove that overwhelming power of having strong family ties. So it's kind of a short article, but I was largely interested because I feel I somewhat agree with the article because we are both identical twins, and because I have a twin, I feel more guilty if I commit suicide, and he doesn't.
You're not as lonely.
And I, like most people who are single adults with no children or not close to their family members, like brothers and sisters, he and I had a really close relationship, so we've often felt less lonely. Now, the truth is, loneliness can exacerbate suicidal thoughts, but since we're so close, it has actually helped us become more resilient. And most of the people that have brothers and sisters don't share this common bond. Anyways, let me get to the game quick. Kyle's playing BioShock, and he says he's pretty terrible at it. I don't quite understand this game, But I guess the guy has several powers and he can shoot many guns.
I'm killing the Bioshock right now with my sister.
And his accuracy is terrible. This guy's shooting at him and he can't even hit him. So I guess he's using some injection.
Watch this.
I don't know the whole story behind this. My brother got into it. He said it was a little bit hard to get into. But do you find this game really amazing or really terrible?
I actually like it now. It took me a while to get used to.
Kyle says it took a while for him to get used to this game, but I watched him a couple times and it's okay. I don't generally find myself totally watch him all the time, but the game doesn't give me a headache like some of the other games.
Batman actually gave me a headache.
Anyways, back to the study. So I want to ask Kyle a few questions regarding this. If I was a twin, which I am, and I commit suicide, would Kyle commit suicide more likely as well? Kyle says likely. Okay. How does that differ among other twins? Let's say one identical twin or fraternal twin commits suicide. How likely is the other twin gonna commit suicide? Now, it's great that if both people are resilient to commit suicide when they're together, but when one loses that relationship, are they more likely to commit suicide? And I want to say yes. There was another study on this when it came to suicide, and the subject was a little different, but let me get to it. If I look up suicide and twins, it came with a different article. And it states that, hold on one second, if I can find the article. Risk of suicide in twins, 51 years following years of study. The presence of siblings, however, have rarely been looked at as signs of suicide or attempted suicide. A Danish registered study found no protective effect associated with having siblings, but neither the age nor the sex of the siblings were considered. Twins represent a unique sibling relationship. They not only share the same family and social environment, at least for the first part of their lives, but they also show a higher level of closeness, both in terms of the number of years spent together before leaving the paternal home and infrequent of contact afterwards. We investigated whether the twins rate whether the suicide rate in twins was different than the general population. As previously reported, the twins cohorts had a mortality pattern similar to that to the general popularity. Twins? Comment. Twins have a reduced risk of suicide, which supports the hypothesis that strong family ties reduces the risk of suicidal behavior. But other Danish literature studies have found mental illness to be slightly more common among twins than among singletons. This should lead to a higher proportion of twins committing suicide compared with the general population. But our findings show exactly the opposite, further underscoring the importance of family ties. Now, the article is very similar to the other one that was posted on WebMD, but I want to see if I can see if there's any other statistics that they found. If I look at these statistics, table, suicide rates among Danish twins, but this is a really interesting study because it says from 1870 to 1930, so I assume that it's from a different population, but I don't know how realistic it is, and I want to say, yeah, it probably helps that I have a twin and I'm less lonely, and that helps with my mental health, but...
Are you going to learn independence and work?
But the problem is that we become pretty codependent and we're not really independent from each other. We've often shared girlfriends. We've often shared friends. We often have a history of not forming other friendship because we're largely each other's friend, especially when we're younger. And however, things diverged when I became an adult. And I want to say that just because I have bipolar, the symptoms also exacerbated my mental illness, and my brother didn't really suffer that much. We were on totally different medications. I'm on a mood stabilizer, antipsychotic. Kyle's just totally on, and 2 antidepressants, 1 for sleep and 1 for anxiety, depression. Anyways, I thought I'd try something different. Is there anything else you want to add about twin study? Kyle said nope, there's nothing else to add.
Just
But I
play
thought-
games.
Kyle just wants to play games, and I think I'll let him. I'll maybe put another 5 minutes of him playing the game, because honestly, there's nothing really that interesting the last.
I just killed the Bioshock.
Maybe I missed it because I was focusing on the
and
camera.
I healed the child.
So what's the goal of this right now?
Just to heal the child.
There's only one child or several
There's
children?
more children. I say I have 3 little sisters in this level, so you gotta rescue them.
Why, they're psychotic and you gotta give them meds or what?
Nah, you just heal them. 'Cause they're hurt.
Are they like defected like those adults where they go rampagey? And
Yeah.
how can they save the kids and not the adults?
They're full of ego.
Look at that. Kyle's just terrible shot. He has to get close to kill that thing. Is there anything gonna be exciting showing up, or should I just end the video?
Probably nothing.
So they're not zombies, right?
I think they kind of are. They're spliced.
So how similar is this compared to Resident Evil?
Yeah, it's kind of similar to it, actually.
Do you like Resident Evil better or this game? Since there's powers
Hard to say.
and just guns instead
Resident
of
Evil
just
4 is
guns.
still pretty good. 6 was actually pretty good. I don't think it was that bad. I don't know why people don't like it.
According to Kyle, this game used to have another predecessor called System Shock, but I never played it, so I don't know. I know my friend David tried to get into this game, but
He already beat it, didn't
oh,
he?
he already beat it. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I thought he just played it.
No, he beat it.
Anyways, cut the video. I hope this is something new. Take care. Bye.